What's up, guys? It's your boy Velociraptor1, and today we have Beanie Noah 44.
What's up, everybody? How you guys doing today?
Anyway, so basically, we're doing a reaction video on my channel. Yeah, it kind of seems that we're doing like Noah's group reaction.
Yes, yes, the group reaction is doing really good right now. If you guys want to go check
Hi.
out the backrooms footage, I would recommend it to see it. It's pretty nice, and if you're into the backrooms, that is probably one of the best videos to go watch, especially all of us going like nuts on it and shit.
Oh yeah, definitely. So
Um,
yeah, there's this th theory. I mean, the video might be 4 years old, but it was re-reacted by the one, the only, Fresh Cut Slim, otherwise known as,
Charmix.
yeah, Charmix. Who's Charmix?
Yeah, who's Charmix?
But yeah, he reacted to this video, so I was like, damn. And I told you about this.
Yep, definitely. You have told me about what's going on with him.
Yeah, so any other idea of like reacting to this, both of us reacting to this video?
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting, I believe, learn about different theories of SpongeBob and a lot of crazy shit that's
Yeah.
happening on the cartoon. So,
And they definitely did that Squilliam fraud theory.
oh, I'm not surprised. It was
That'll be
squealing
for another
pants or something.
reaction. But anyways, maybe a long intro, but let's just get this video.
Let's do it.
Yeah, share sounds. I need that. There you go. Oh, okay. Item. There. And I
This
apologize for
is
pausing too
not
much.
Mrs. Puff. You may think she's just SpongeBob's
That's a
voting
little
teacher,
weird.
but you'd be very, very wrong. For
Okay,
years,
I,
she's
I
been
want to hear
running
him
from her
out.
dark and mysterious past, but it's finally caught up to her. And behind it all
Okay.
is a mastermind who's been secretly controlling her life and psychologically torturing her. If you guys thought my last theories were mind-blowing, get
Oh,
ready for my biggest conspiracy yet.
the
This
painting.
is the Mrs. Puff theory.
The big
This
meaning.
is Puff Theory. Okay, let's do
Wow,
this.
the reaction to my last two
Yeah.
SpongeBob theories
Oh,
has
yeah.
been insane.
Oh, these are.
All those YouTubers, I've seen them
Yes.
before.
Who is that handsome young devil?
I'm glad you guys are enjoying my ridiculously deep dives into the show. I mean, I have to watch so much SpongeBob and read so much of the
Oh, yeah,
Wikipedia to put these
definitely.
theories together, but it's worth it because the writers actually take the time to set these things up. Now, a lot of
Oh,
people are asking,
absolutely.
Oh,
Alex,
yeah.
how do you come up with these crazy conspiracy theories?
Well,
Well, I always start these theories by looking for the moments in the show that seem to be implying more than they're letting on. Like I've
oh,
said
yeah,
before,
definitely.
SpongeBob is a weird show with
Oh,
lots
yeah,
of
we're
abstract
this
humor,
episode.
but I can usually understand the
Oh yeah, the one.
behind a weird joke. But then
I'm
there's
not gonna
moments like
say it.
this.
You guys know what I'm talking about.
I hope I still remember how to do this.
Oh, I remember this episode.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
well, at least it's not
It's so confusing and
the.
weird that it feels like the writers are trying to
Sorry,
imply
I had to
something
censor it
beyond
for
just
YouTube
weirdness for the
purposes.
sake of comedy. And nowhere in the show is there more of these moments than with Mrs. Puff. And once I started looking into it, it led me down the deepest rabbit hole I've ever seen from this show. So,
Okay.
let's begin.
All right, I'm
Oh,
listening.
it's a
It's like-
sponsor. I'm gonna have to skip this one.
All right.
Yeah, even though we can't support, even though that he's glad to be sponsored, we can't show that because we're not actually sponsored. So yeah,
Right.
sorry about that, folks.
Mrs.
Dark
Puff is a
past.
boarding school teacher in Bikini Bottom. She's passed all of her students except for one, SpongeBob SquarePants.
Well,
Of
yeah,
course, SpongeBob has never passed.
Times, and he
Well,
always ends
yeah.
up failing it and
The
causing
rule of
destruction and
Steven.
chaos that usually ends up with Mrs. Puff going to jail, despite it not really being her fault. We also know that she was once married,
But he
her
can
husband-
drive a Krabby Patty car though in the movie, so that makes
Oh
sense.
yeah,
Mrs. Puff? Oh, she's married.
Oh no, Mr. Krabs. She's single.
Then what
oh
happened
yeah, I
to
remember
Mr.
that.
Puff?
Ooh,
Oh,
She doesn't like to talk about
Mr.
it.
Buff.
Throughout the show, there are moments like
probably
this
not the best to
that
talk
hint
about
at
that.
her having a
Yeah.
dark, mysterious past. And in season 2, episode 10, No Free Rides, we get the
Oh yeah,
biggest
the
clue about who
this
Mrs. Puff
obvious.
really is. After SpongeBob fails the driving test yet again, Mrs. Puff has just had it with him. And
He went through the
he
break.
upped
That
the
was
museum's license,
Yeah.
even though he
hilarious.
never really passed. She quickly realizes
Yeah.
that this is a horrible idea.
Oh yeah,
and will
definitely.
probably end up destroying the entire town.
Wham. Oh, this one too.
Oh yeah. Okay, he edited for copyright
So
reasons.
much to
My
say.
leg.
This reporter asks why.
Oh yeah.
Consensus places the blame on
This is gonna be a part of
selfish
this
driving
later.
instructor who-
Oh,
This clip. It's
Oh,
going to be very important
Yeah.
later on. And then she
damn,
said
look at that mugshot.
mainly revealing
Yeah.
line.
What have I done?
and this.
Everyone will know that I let him slide through school. I'll have to move to a new city, start a new boating school with a new name.
Oh yeah,
No, not again.
you are a criminal.
Not again.
Yeah.
Come on,
Yeah.
it's like they're just begging someone to
Oh,
make a
yeah.
theory about this. So we now know Mrs. Puff was originally from a different
d-
town. She used to own a different boating school, and Mrs.
Okay.
Puff isn't even her real name. There's something in her
Yep.
past that she ran away from. Now, there's been some debate over whether she's actually referring to a new name for herself or for her boating school, but I do think she's talking about her own name. Because if she's trying to run away from something in her past, she wouldn't start a new boating school with her
Oh,
real
yeah,
name in the
definitely.
title. Now, when she says
Mhm.
again, I don't think she's just referring to starting a new life.
Everyone will know that I let him slide through school. Not again.
I think at her previous boating school, she had a terrible
Oh, yeah.
student, just like SpongeBob, who she prematurely gave a license to. and
Oh
it led
yeah,
to
I'm
something
sure.
Yeah,
terrible
boom.
happening that she had to run away and start a whole new life. In season 3, episode 5,
Doing Time.
we get a flashback to when she first opened up the school.
Remember that episode?
Where did I go wrong? With the opening of my new boating school, I pledge that as long as a student is willing to learn, I shall never give up.
Hi, I'm SpongeBob SquarePants.
With the opening of
Oh,
this
that-
new
Yeah, until you met SpongeBob.
Let's keep in
Yeah,
mind, this is
definitely.
not her first boating school.
And that
Maybe
failed
the whole
real
reason
bad.
she's making this play
Yeah.
now at her second school is because she gave up on a student at her previous school, and that
I was
led to her
wondering,
having
was
to
the
run away
student
and
so
start a
bad
new
that she
life.
replaced
She's
it
pledging to
with
never make the
SpongeBob?
same mistake again. Now let's
Probably.
jump to one of the newer episodes. Season 12, episode 21, Lighthouse.
What if that
Lane.
student is
Mrs. Puff
more
has
worse than
SpongeBob
SpongeBob
organize all
though?
the stuff she
Because
Probably.
she's still there to this day at the
Lots of
Bikini
things
Bottom.
hidden in the background.
Oh yeah,
The
definitely.
first thing that caught my eye was this file labeled Mrs. Puff.
Oh,
It
Mrs.
makes sense for a teacher to have files on all their students, but why
Oh,
would she
yeah.
have a file about herself? But let's
Yeah,
remember,
wondering that.
she's not Mrs. Puff. That's a fake identity she created, and I'm willing to bet all of her fake identification documents are in this file. Back in No Free Rides, she just gives SpongeBob a license that she already had for him. So she clearly makes these licenses. and
1,
would
2, 4
probably know how to
Bikini
make
Come
fake
Shell Street.
identifications. But that's not the only hint about Mrs. Puff's past in this lighthouse. There is something in here that directly
Why is there a
confirms
pizza
all of
box
this.
there?
As SpongeBob swallows
Uh.
Mrs. Puff's junk, we see something very interesting for only a few frames. Deranged
SpongeBob's
boat
eating-
racer makes getaway.
Oh, gee.
10 seasons later, and the creators are still hiding stuff about Mrs. Puff
Okay.
her whole life. It might not look like it
Mm.
at first, but we actually get a
So a deranged boat teacher
information
may
from
get
this
away and
newspaper.
distracts
This
the
is from
authority
the
to-
New Kelp Post, which tells us
Oh, yeah,
that
sorry,
Puff originally
but
lived
yeah.
in New Kelp City. Then there's a caption that reads,
Oh,
"Distracts
there it is.
authorities with balloon animals." Do you remember that clip from the beginning?
I hope I still
Yeah.
remember how to do this. Yeah.
That's the
Whenever Mrs.
episode.
Puff makes a getaway or
Oh,
commits
yeah.
a crime, she leaves behind a balloon animal to distract the police. I'm telling you guys, these writers don't just do stuff randomly. They have reasons
Yeah.
for everything. And the most damning piece of evidence from this newspaper is actually the picture of Mrs. Puff. Kind of a strange
Yeah, the same mugshot from the other episode.
photo of her.
Oh yeah,
In
definitely.
the episode No Free Rides, when she imagines what would happen if SpongeBob got his license.
Local consensus places the blame on this negligent, selfish driving instructor.
This means that this
Oh,
is
yeah,
her
definitely.
imagination of what might happen. This is also her remembering what happened when she lived in New Kelp City and prematurely gave one of her students a license. And I'm willing to bet that the fish reporting the news is the exact same one who reported about her in New Kelp City. Let me explain. We know
Okay.
from the episode Whatever Happened to SpongeBob that reporters from the Bikini Bottom
Oh, yeah.
can also
French
work
Oh,
Brooklyn.
yeah, I remember that episode.
the real reason I think this is because of his hair. In the entire show,
Oh, yeah,
I've
that-
never seen this fish reporter with hair before. Why would the creators
Oh, yeah,
write on the
definitely.
radio that detail? Because Mrs. Puff isn't imagining him as he looks now. She's remembering him from years ago when he used to have hair, when he reported about her in New Kelp City. Mrs. Puff has been running from her past ever since, and is now forced to relive her experience with an unteachable student through SpongeBob. But reliving this trauma has pushed her to the point of complete insanity. And trust me when I say,
oh yeah, she's definitely
you have
insane.
no idea how delusional she actually is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's how to deal with the Krusty Krab.
Another running gag throughout the series is Mrs. Puff's occasional nervous breakdowns or moments of anxiety because of SpongeBob, and they get more severe as the show continues. At first, she did care for SpongeBob, but in the newer episodes, she literally tries to kill.
Oh yeah, I remember that episode where
she tries to kill him and all that shit. Yeah.
And blame him for the deflation.
Hi, Mrs. Puff.
Oh.
Hit the brakes, SpongeBob! What?
Simply just walking up to her to give her PTSD.
Driving?
But these mostly seem like just one-off moments, and for the most part, Mrs. Puff is still a functioning member of society, right? I'm going to show
I don't
you
think
that
so.
she's actually much more insane.
I get with the eye thing.
In some of the episodes,
Oh yeah, she definitely insane. You can tell.
in her own head. If we're talking about how insane Mrs. Puff is, there is no better place to start than the episode Doing Time. Once again, SpongeBob fails the voting test and causes destruction and chaos, which leads to Mrs. Puff going to jail. SpongeBob keeps breaking into jail to try and bust her out, but Mrs. Puff actually prefers being in jail over teaching him. We actually get another interesting line about Mrs. Puff's past in this episode.
Okay, you can do this, Puff. You can get through this without losing your sanity. Oh, that's a road we don't want to go down again.
So we know that Mrs. Puff has lost her sanity in the past, probably.
He always says again, so.
Student, but it seems like
she's definitely up to
Except in
something.
this episode, she has a complete mental breakdown. SpongeBob keeps appearing in impossible places until she gets thrown into solitary confinement, where each wall of the room transforms into a giant SpongeBob face. And then the episode ends in a way that's so weird and confusing that it rivals the infamous gorilla episode.
Oh yeah, the gorilla episode.
Out,
oh, that was a funny one.
Transported back to the beginning of the episode when SpongeBob was taking the test.
It's so funny
Except
that
this time,
they actually
SpongeBob gets arrested instead
had
of
the real life people was like, what the hell? Oh.
Can't believe it. It was all a dream.
I'm going to jail.
SpongeBob went to jail, no.
Why would you go to jail? You already did your time.
Oh. The line.
Bro, she losing it.
Yeah.
So what's really going on in this episode? Was the ending all in her head? Is Mrs. Puff just caught in an endless loop? I think this entire episode is inside of Mrs. Puff's head, and she's actually on the outside the whole time, but she's been imagining
So
herself
how
inside
is
of
she
prison.
like?
I can explain. Listen closely.
I don't know how
to
to see.
police officer
How to
tells
ask
Mrs.
that.
Puff.
I'm not going to jail.
Why would you go to jail? You already did your time.
Why would you go to jail? You already did your time. And then revealing she's still in a prison uniform despite being on the outside. So this scene is obviously inside of her head, which means everything we see is symbolic. And if we can understand the symbolism of it, we can understand what's really going on with Mrs. Puff. Notice how she's suddenly wearing a black and white striped prison uniform, even though the entire episode she's been wearing a jumpsuit.
Interesting.
Why would the creators go to the extra effort to draw a whole new prison uniform for her? Well,
maybe 40 years ago, I
black and
think.
white prison uniform before. The very first time she went to prison, back in season 1, episode 7.
Yeah, but it's blue.
The police officer says, "You've already done your time." He's referring to the first time she went to jail.
Yeah, it's blue,
Why is she
not
still wearing
black.
that uniform outside of prison. Well, she may have gotten out of jail, but she was by no means free. Having to teach SpongeBob.
Maybe they have updated the
suits
suits probably.
Believing she's in jail
Yeah.
and wearing a prison uniform despite being on the outside. This entire episode, every time SpongeBob magically appears, is all inside of her head. She is completely.
Oh yeah, I remember the
She's
Looney Bin where
experiencing
it turned to
these hallucinations. Don't stop
SpongeBob.
there. Just 6
And she
episodes
lost
later,
it.
She goes to a house party
Oh,
some
yeah.
girl throws. And while everyone is talking and having a good time, in the background we see she's literally sitting by herself talking to an ice sculpture of SpongeBob.
Oh.
You can't tell me this is.
Oh yeah, then
Look at this.
she's losing
Now,
it for
back in the
good.
episode, No
Talking to
There is a very
house,
strange picture
a
inside of Mrs.
SpongeBob
Puff.
ice
A
sculpture.
picture of Mrs. Puff
Oh, yeah.
inside of a picture of Mrs. Puff inside of a picture of Mrs.
That
Puff. creating
confuses
a-
That's
fans for
actually
years.
fucking weird. Like, why would you have a picture after a picture after a picture of yourself?
I have no
The
idea.
SpongeBob
Maybe something has to do with her husband passing away.
biggest mystery in the entire show. If you think about it,
Oh.
this is just like the end of doing.
It got weird
It's just second
storyboard
if
got
you lose
involved.
SpongeBob failing the driving test because it's also
Honestly, after her husband
it's
probably
just a
died,
endless
I think they
cycle
made her
of SpongeBob
nuts.
taking the test and
Yeah.
failing, and no matter what she does to try and escape, she always ends up back in the same place at the end of the episode. So this picture is another symbolic manifestation of what
Yeah.
she's feeling. We even see another one of these pictures all the way in season 9, episode 5, Bumper to Bumper. This is something that the show
That?
is consistently alluding to. Mrs. Puff
Okay,
is an unreliable narrator, and anything we see with her could potentially all be inside of her own head. In fact, I believe I found another episode that takes place inside of her head. In
Okay.
season 9, episode 17, SpongeBob Long Pants, SpongeBob goes to a different boating instructor and actually gets his license. But as soon as he does, we briefly cut to Mrs. Puff waking up.
You pass.
I finally got my driver's license!
No.
Lock your doors, bar your windows, it's the end of the world!
Oh god.
Like it's probably just
Does
a
it?
throwaway gag,
Did she have to
but
go
Mrs. Puff
extreme
somehow
on that?
senses that SpongeBob got his license, and it causes her to wake up and freak out. You know, it's a good bit, it's funny, but I have a question. The joke is that
Yeah.
she's supposed to be waking up at the exact time SpongeBob gets his license. How come she wakes up at night when SpongeBob clearly gets his license during the day? Because
Oh, yeah, I
this
wonder
entire
that.
episode actually takes place inside of Mrs. Puff's head, and this is the only part of the episode in the real world.
Oh.
Oh yeah, he wouldn't get his license.
Yeah. It's not bad.
It's all about, but I'm glad it's over.
But let me pause for a second. I'm sure some of you are already wondering if this contradicts my previous SpongeBob video, The Television Theory. If you haven't watched that one, the gist of it is that the entire show is a documentary television show, and everything we see is actually being secretly filmed by scuba divers, and there's a ton of evidence to support
Well, I knew that,
that
yes.
video. You should definitely
Yeah.
check it out. But if everything's supposed to be from a camera, then how are we seeing things from inside Mrs. Puff's head? In fact, how do we see dreams and flashbacks and thought bubbles? Well,
Because it's
I think the
SpongeBob,
simple
that's
answer is that
what's
even though
supposed to
we
be.
Yeah.
It doesn't make
objective
sense in the
camera
world.
lens, the world itself still follows
Yeah.
the rules of a cartoon.
You can never tell another living soul.
Wait, hold on! What's that? My pen is out of ink.
Plankton! You'll never get me formula, not even in a flashback.
In the world of
Oh,
SpongeBob, you
jeez.
can imagine something.
Not even a flashback.
See,
Yeah.
order, interact
Why
with
is that so
things.
funny?
That's just how cartoons work. Back to the theory.
Oh, yeah, it's
Everyone
cartoon.
said that he is causing
So,
the
like,
Yeah, the
sure.
cartoon.
But if you remember back to the Lighthouse
Oh, man.
episode, she's also become an extreme hoarder. And looking at her collection
Oh,
of
yeah,
jewelry is
definitely.
a look directly into her mind. So there's got to be something we can learn about her from it. There's a picture of her boyfriend, Mr. Krabs, the hall monitor belt she gets her students, the mean drawings her students make her, SpongeBob's diary, a boating safety helmet. Wait,
What? SpongeBob?
SpongeBob's diary? Why does
Wait, what?
SpongeBob's
Yeah.
diary?
Why she has SpongeBob's diary?
Safely put away in SpongeBob's library. What's it doing in the lighthouse? And
Okay, that's
And
creepy.
Squidward-
from the Krusty Krab, and SpongeBob's
What
bike,
the-
and Squidward's teddy bear, and the hair curlers Mr. Krabs had, and that statue of Squidward, and that diamond ring, and that crown, and that bucket of radioactive waste.
Okay, she's a thief.
Oh my-
She's a thief.
Mrs. Puff is a kleptomaniac.
A kleptomaniac.
Mrs. Puff has been
A thief and a
stealing
kleptomaniac.
from the Bikini Bottom.
Yeah,
I believe
that's a
the
good word for
pet
it.
snail from
Never
season
heard of that
4
word, to be honest with
was
you.
stolen.
My snail's up a tree. I've had her since I was a little girl. No!
You've had that snail since you've been a little girl, huh? Then how come that is the exact
Oh,
same
yeah.
snail Squidward
I-
had 4 episodes ago in the
noticed
Great
that.
Snail Race?
Oh,
Yeah, she stole it.
Mongrel
Yeah.
She's a purebred. See, she even has her own papers.
He even has her paperwork. Mrs.
Yeah,
Puff
even
clearly
it's
stole
under
this snail
Squidward's
from Squidward.
name.
But why the
She
hell
stole
did
it.
Mrs. Puff steal all this other junk? What possible use could she have?
There's
for
a pizza
it?
box lure right there.
Find the answer to that
Oh,
question
yeah,
by
the
looking
Krusty
at
Krab
this green
pizza.
hat and this purple jacket. These
Oh.
were gifts Mr. Krabs bought her on their first date, but she
Oh,
ended
yeah,
up
that's
feeling
it.
uncomfortable receiving them and gave them back to him.
I'm afraid I just don't feel comfortable accepting all these gifts.
Except
Oh.
apparently she's not too uncomfortable to steal them back afterwards.
Oh,
So
yeah.
clearly Mrs.
Yeah, I
Krabs
mean, that is true. Like, you got him back in your little
just steals for the
lighthouse.
thrill of it. Maybe
Yeah.
stealing things is her way of coping with the insanity of her everyday life. And remember, this isn't the first time she's gone insane.
You can get through this without losing your sanity. Oh, that's a road we don't want to go down again.
In fact, I have reason to believe that she started stealing things way back whenever she first went insane.
I hope I still
Oh
remember
yeah,
how to do this.
the
I
ski
don't think she's
mask.
just talking about remembering how to make balloon animals. She's probably also referring to remembering how to steal a boat. And if that's not enough for you, in a SpongeBob comic book,
Oh, I
she
didn't know
actually
that.
admits that she
It was
used to
like
rob
comic
banks,
books.
and she wears the exact same
She
ski
went
mask. Mrs. Puff lives a completely
Bank
delusional
robbing?
and
What
miserable
the
life, all
hell?
because she has to teach
Oh
SpongeBob how
man,
to drive. It's
we're
led her
just
to
finding out that
goes
Mr.
out
Mrs. Puff is now a criminal before GTA
But
6.
that begs a very
Yeah.
important question.
Even GGT had to be
Like, so
delayed.
miserable, then
Yeah, what the hell, bro?
after all the destruction and pain he's caused, she'd
Oh,
totally be justified to expel him, right? I mean, she will literally try and kill him so she doesn't have to teach him, but for some reason she can't just expel
it's weird
him.
to see her
It's almost like
deflated.
there's someone forcing
Oh
her
yeah, she looked weird.
SpongeBob.
They need the money.
Yeah. But but yeah, this is everyone's question. If she can have the power to expel him, why does she keep teaching him?
That is true. Like, why is she doing that?
Yeah, and this part of the video will explains it. The mastermind.
Back to the episode No Free Rides, after prematurely giving SpongeBob a license, she steals his boatmobile so he can't hurt anyone. In the end, this causes her to get arrested and go to jail, but then SpongeBob tells her this.
And besides, the warden says she'll let you go early if you do her a favor.
What's that?
Free driving lessons!
Oh
She
shit.
gets to leave prison early if she gives free driving lessons.
Oh,
Seems
no.
like an oddly specific requirement. And that's not the only time this gets mentioned either. In Season 9, Episode 5, Bumper to Bumper, we get this scene.
If only
Oh,
SpongeBob could pass his boating test, he'd be out of my life once and for all. Unfortunately, I keep getting reminded of the consequences if I get too angry with the little nuisance.
Consequences.
Oh,
You
the
tell me
ankle.
that if she
Oh,
SpongeBob
ankle bracelet.
specifically
Yeah.
shows violating her parole and gets sent back to jail? Why does the prison even care if Mrs. Puff teaches SpongeBob? Is it just part of some weird community service? But things start to get really suspicious.
I
after
don't know.
Season
It's so
7,
weird.
Episode 5, Summer Job. Once again, Mrs.
Summer.
Puff ends up in jail, but this time she's
What the hell
forced
did
to
she
go to prison boating
in
school.
jail for in this episode?
Wow! A driver's education class!
Good day, class!
Oh.
Oh no.
I must be having a nightmare!
Oh.
What's he doing here? Ugh.
Dear Mrs. Puff, I'm following in your footsteps.
SpongeBob teaching Mrs. Puff is probably the worst idea, honestly.
Yeah.
He drive.
Who in their right
Yeah.
mind would hire SpongeBob to do that?
Yeah.
Destroyed the city countless times.
Even the cop's face went,
It's just another
what?
one of Mrs. Puff's delusions? Or is the prison intentionally forcing her to be around SpongeBob just to torture her? I mean, look at the way the guard forces her to sit there and listen to him.
Get me out of here!
Oh yeah. Even the guard is like.
Ow! Oh!
Oh.
And look at that evil smile he has as he watches her endure this torture. There is something very strange going on.
What, did the officer hate her?
Episode 8, The Getaway. Mrs. Puff meets a
I
criminal
don't
named
know,
Bullshit
that's
Dan
just
and
bad.
starts to get romantic feelings for him. This is
Oh,
also while
jeez.
she's still dating Mr. Krabs. Shame on you, Mrs.
Mrs.
Puff.
Puff,
At the
how
end of
dare
the
ya.
episode, They both accidentally land in prison, and the warden...
Oh no, cheater.
Yeah.
On this one, pulling up outside the prison.
Oh.
Dorsal Dan, a notorious getaway driver. Toss him in the clink.
Oh gee.
I'll wait for you, my little tender boy.
In or out of
Sizzle
jail,
jeez.
this prison will stop at nothing to make sure she is alone.
Well, Mr. Krabs, you lost Miss
Why?
Puff.
Who's behind all of this?
Yeah.
Why would anyone care this much about torturing Mrs. Puff? Who's the mastermind pulling the strings? Well, maybe it has something to do with her old
Oh, okay,
life
I was
in
gonna
Chelsea.
say.
Maybe she crossed someone and they've been plotting their revenge ever since. But I've looked in every single frame of New Kelp City, and there is nothing
New
connecting
Kelp
back to the
City.
prison. I've looked literally everywhere, and there's not a single person from the city that has anything to do with Mrs. Puff.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I mean, maybe except for the literal warden of the prison she's being kept in. He may be hiding
warden.
slightly off screen, but that is clearly the
Oh,
scene
yeah.
of the Bikini Bottom prison. And this isn't some random background character that the show reuses all the time. He is a
They kinda
very
do.
distinct character. You can call me out on the Squilliam video all you want, but not this time. But wait a second. If the warden was originally from New Kelp City, then
Yeah.
he'd probably know about Mrs. Puff's dark past and her true identity. So why hasn't he exposed her? He's just kept quiet about the fact that one of his inmates is living a completely false identity. She'd probably even get more prison time when they find out who she really is, so why hasn't he said anything? This is where things get very interesting. So, we know Mrs. Puff prematurely gave a student at her original boarding school a license, and that led to them causing chaos and destruction. Maybe this student accidentally did something terrible to the warden, and he's blamed Mrs. Puff ever since. Whatever happened was so terrible that it caused him to leave the bottom and get a job as the warden of the town.
This is just
And to his surprise, he
interesting
finds out
theories.
that one of his inmates is actually the person he blamed for that terrible thing happening. This works out perfectly for him. He can finally get his revenge on Mrs. Puff by making her life miserable. All he has to do is reveal her dark secret, and she'll be stuck in jail for much longer. Except for one small issue with his plan. Mrs. Puff actually likes being in prison.
One day down, 2,500.
That's true, because I've seen the episodes.
That's just shy of 4 years without
Or 4 years.
SpongeBob. I'm going to enjoy this.
So, he comes up with a new plan. Keep Mrs. Puff secret and let her out of prison early, but only under the condition that she has to teach SpongeBob. He's literally turning her normal life into a prison. And he makes sure going back to prison to avoid SpongeBob isn't even an option.
This must be very hard for Mrs. Puff.
Sure that SpongeBob is
I guess. But she also did horrible things too, so like she's in the wrong for everything.
Yeah, true.
Give her an ankle bracelet that
I mean, do they have to torture her just for that?
Leave town without
Pretty much.
violating my parole.
He is the mastermind
My
who's been
parole.
controlling everything this entire time. But guess what? His insidious plan doesn't even end there. This is not the first time we've seen the warden character. We first see him in season 4, episode 2, Crabs versus Plankton. In this episode, Plankton slips on some water with Krusty Krab.
Oh yeah, he was in this episode.
Mr. Krabs for everything he owns. And then guess who shows up out of nowhere and offers to be Mr. Krabs' lawyer?
What I really need is a good lawyer.
Whoa, did somebody say lawyer? Richard A. Bottomfield, attorney at law. I couldn't help but notice that despicable display.
Richard A. Bottomfeeder, the
Richard A.
warden of the Bikini Bottom prison, also apparently
Bottomfeeder.
a lawyer? That's kind of strange. Those both sound like major careers. You usually wouldn't imagine
sounds
someone being
weird.
both. Then he says to be Mr. Krabs' lawyer completely free of charge.
So, how much is this gonna cost me?
Actually, I won't charge a dime unless we win.
Well, that's awfully generous of you, Richard. He seems very confident that he can win the case, but right before he goes to court, he slips on some water.
Oh, yeah.
SpongeBob will have to be Mr. Krabs' lawyer now.
I want to point this out. Maybe it makes sense for a lawyer to like become a judge, but a lawyer become a warden. I don't think that's kind of.
I don't think that's how it works by the law, but okay.
Yeah.
But in SpongeBob universe it works.
Yeah.
Oh!
Mr. Krabs' lawyer, speak to me! Wrapped with pain.
Hey, there was an actual story where a lawyer got into an accident before the trial.
He tells SpongeBob that he has to represent Mr. Krabs, even though he himself called SpongeBob a liability.
Isn't that a felony to impersonate a lawyer?
Testimony from you.
Yeah.
You'd be more of a liability than an asset.
But it's okay, because apparently all SpongeBob needs to win is inside of Richard's briefcase.
Everything you need to win is in this here case. Really? Everything?
Except when SpongeBob gets to court, he realizes that Richard never gave him the combination to the case.
Oh,
It's,
jeez.
all in here.
Really?
Yep, right in here.
Is there a problem?
Your lawyer didn't give me the combination.
Either Richard A. Bottomfeeder is
Uh-oh.
the worst lawyer in history, or this is all part of his elaborate plan to ruin Mrs. Puff's life. Here's what I think happened.
I don't think this has to do with
He
something
finds
with
out that
Puff.
Mr. Krabs
I don't think it has nothing. No, that's where this is confusing. Now you're talking about Mr. Krabs and
Mrs. Puff has
his
in
lawyer.
So he pretends to be a lawyer, even offering his services for free, something Mr. Krabs can't resist. He makes Mr. Krabs feel confident that they're gonna win the case, and then at the last second, he pretends to get into an accident so he can't represent Mr. Krabs. Instead of finding a real lawyer to replace him, he tells the most incompetent person for the job, SpongeBob, that he has to be Mr. Krabs' lawyer, and he gives him a case that allegedly has all the answers in it without actually giving SpongeBob the combination, setting him up for a total failure in court. Richard A. Bottomfeeder refuses to let anyone get close to Mrs. Puff, not Dorsal Dan, and not Mr. Krabs. This guy has squillion levels of hate for Mrs. Puff. But why? What exactly did her previous student do that warrants this much torture? It can't be something as simple as him or his property getting damaged. It has to be something life-changing. Something like losing a loved one because of the student's reckless driving. And I think the show gives us one last hint about who this might have been. All the pictures of Mrs. Puff's house are very meaningful to her. She's got photos of Mr. Krabs, her pet snail, and of course those infinitely looping photos that told us so much about her mental state. But there is one more photo in this house that might be the key to this entire conspiracy. In season 12, episode 14, Plankton's Old Chum, we see a photo of someone we've never seen before on Mrs. Puff's wall. There's some surprising similarities between this character and Richard.
I
The
don't know.
color, the red bow tie, the overall
Yeah, but I don't
fancy,
think that
serious
is.
appearance. It clearly isn't the same person, but maybe this is someone related to Richard, like a
Maybe.
father, a son,
Maybe.
or a brother that Mrs. Puff's former student killed. And the reason she keeps a photo of him up is to have a permanent reminder to never make the same mistake of giving someone a license who doesn't deserve it.
Yeah.
Mrs.
That
Puff
could be
is
true.
a boarding school teacher who once made a terrible mistake that led to the loss of her business, identity, sanity, and any chance at finding happiness. I like to think that there used to be a time when she was happy, back when her husband was still alive. If only he was still around today, maybe she wouldn't have to face all of this on her own. Thank you for watching, everyone.
Oh, I'm
I hope
sure.
you enjoyed. Is what I would
Yeah.
say if I was done, except her husband is still
But-
alive.
Wait,
Let's
what?
do this. In the SpongeBob movie, SpongeBob and
Hold
Patrick
on.
travel to a gift
Do
shop
we use
and sell food
or-
that's full of dead fish turned into knickknacks and ornaments. Except they end
Oh,
up
let's
setting
see.
off the smoke detector, which activates the sprinkler system
Oh, yeah.
and brings all the dead fish back to life.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was Kelp
The
City.
looking pufferfish hanging from the ceiling. Mr. Puff is alive. Well, wait a second. If he's alive and he escaped, then
What
why
the-
hasn't he gone back to Mrs. Puff? Why is she still alone? Because remember, she ran away from their home in New Kelp City and started a new identity. So sadly, Mr. Puff has no way of finding her. The tragedy of Mrs. Puff's story is that her happiness is just a city away, but she can never
Huh.
even leave town because that would violate her parole. Richard A. Bottomfeeder probably even knows her husband is alive and is making sure they're never reunited. As the name says, Richard really is a bottom feeder. This video took a ton of time and effort to do all the research for, so I really hope you guys enjoy. Thank you for watching.
Is
and
there
thanks to
anything-
NordVPN.
No, it's just a censor or sponsor. Anyway,
It's crazy. How people can have these ideas about different cartoon characters, especially mainly SpongeBob, and how they think what every specific character has in their back history or what's connected to the Pacific theory, especially with the oh my God, 70 deadly sins. Sorry. That has actually been confirmed by the people at who rate SpongeBob and stuff. So it's very crazy how much theories this cartoon has.
oh yeah, definitely. It's something.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, for Mrs. Puff, I mean, she definitely a criminal. She definitely did some bad shit. So now to learn what I just watch, it does make a lot of sense after seeing a few of those episodes and how the way she acts mentally insane.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, if possible, leave a like just for us to react to more crazy SpongeBob conspiracy theories.
Yes, guys, go make sure to check out my channel if you like being a 441. I'm sure he'll put in the description below and you guys can check me out.
Oh yeah, definitely. Anyways, have a great day. I'll see you guys later.
Peace out,
Peace.
guys.